All right, guys, so welcome back. So, although I can't do a lot of building because of what happened to my hand in work, I couldn't let a whole week go by without doing some kind of video. So, to start this one off, I want to talk about these Waco connectors. So, I had heard of them, but really had no idea if they were any good. So, I went on the Waco site, and it turns out you can email them or something. I forgot what it was, and they'll send you samples. And they sent me these three samples. So this is a tri connector, a dual connector, and a pass through or a one-to-one connector. And these are part of the 221 Waco series. I had no idea they were this small. These are freaking perfect. I went and ordered a bunch of these because these would work really good with what I do. So you can put two wires in this one and connect them that way, or three wires and connect them that way, or straight across. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that. And then I wanted to pull out an old favorite here. Let me back up a little bit. I've got it hooked to the dual circuit. I've got two brand new coils on it that I hand wound that came out beautifully, as you can see. They're both exactly wound the same way, the same amount, even though this one does look like it's a little bit bigger. It's not. It's the same thing. This was one of the old original coils, and I still have the other two in my coil pile. But let me get this guy fired up, uh, and we'll see how it's running. Stay tuned. So as you can see, it's running great. Let me turn it up a little bit. Yeah, it's running like a monster off of the JL94 circuit, the dual circuit. It likes to run at higher voltages, but this is at 13 volts right now. Got a solid output. I really love this motor. Let me turn it off. Yeah, oops, sorry. I really love this motor. I got to stop messing around. My hand's starting to hurt. But I could not resist coming into the garage. I was thinking about this motor. Here, let me get this out of the stand here. I was thinking about this motor and how I wanted to fire it up again and run it on some different circuits, but it runs best on this dual JL94 circuit with the two outputs, two inputs, two outputs. So yeah, that's all I can do this week, guys, because of this freaking thing. Yeah, thank God I had a really good hand surgeon in Stanford. Stanford Hospital is a tremendous hospital. It's a teaching hospital, but they have a really good specialty ward. And they called in a hand surgeon because the attending there said, we need to get somebody in here that knows what they're doing. Because I almost lost one of the fingers. Not the whole finger. It was from like here up was severed. Not completely, though. And what they did was really bizarre. I had no idea that they would do this. So he brought in what looked like a homemade sound device. It was just a speaker and it had a probe attached to the speaker. And it was, when he turned it on, it was nothing but static or white noise. And then he played with some knobs, and it was still this white noise, but he took the probe and put it on my finger, on the base of my finger right here. And the static went away, and you heard this, which was my blood flow. And then he put the probe on the tip of the finger, the part that was severed. And what he was doing was listening for blood flow. When he put it there, you could hear the, and then he smiled and he said, "Yeah, we can save this finger." And I said, and I asked him about it, and he told me, what it did, and why it was making the noise that it was making, and blah blah blah. And that's how they determine if a limb or a finger or a toe or whatever it is that needs to be reconnected is still getting blood flow. So even though it was severed, it wasn't completely severed. It was severed by about 85, maybe 90%. But there must have been like a main vein or something that was still pumping blood to the tip of my finger. And it's funny because this happened on Friday, when I came home for Friday, Saturday, even Sunday, this whole top section of my thing was still all numb, and I couldn't feel anything, and I was getting worried. And he said there might be some nerve damage. They won't know until, it heals completely. And now, as I can move my finger inside the bandage, at the tip of my finger, I can feel it moving up against the bandage, rubbing up against it, down against the inside of the bandage. So there is feeling there. So that's cool. I just noticed something. This was the very first thing I ever printed on my 3D printer. I didn't print one of those benchy boats. I didn't print any of that nonsense. I designed this myself in Fusion and printed it. This was on my Ender 3 Pro, and it came out freaking gorgeous. I built it in Fusion. It was the first thing I ever designed in Fusion. Anyway, yeah, let's get this bad boy going one more time. You really got to get it going, though, in order for it to... Whoa, that's a bright light. That is one loud motor. I love it, but it is loud, and there's really nothing I can do about that. I thought about putting some rubber on the rollers inside here, but in order to do that, I would have to change either the size of the rollers or the position of the rollers, and that's just too much work. It took me too long to build this thing with my buddy down under there. I forget what his handle was. Anyway, all right, guys. Hopefully next week I'll have something new to show you. Thanks for watching.